4 color vehicles are kind of Mardu Car Reanimator. So we've got Greasefang here that brings a car back into play. And we've got Esika's Chariot, which in standard still makes 2 2/2s. And then we've got blood tokens from Epicure as well as rummages from Professor's Learn to get this into the bin. So our kind of like nuts draw is turn 1 Epicure, loot on 2, get the Chariot in, play this on 3, bring it back. Or Professor of Symbology on 2, because remember with Learn, you can discard a card to draw a card. So you can Professor on 2, discard this to draw a card, and then play this on 3 and bring it back. And then you get to attack with it right away and basically put 6 power worth of tokens in play, then have this back in your hand. We also have a variety of things that make treasure tokens between Fable, the Mirror Breaker, and Deadly Dispute to be able to cast Esika's Chariot. And then in our Learn package, we have an Environmental Sciences. So if we want to cast this, we can search up our 1 forest with any of our 6 Learn cards in addition to our treasures. Should Duresses be more checked for traps like we talked about yesterday? Yeah, maybe. I think that's probably a good take. At least some of them. I've got a 4-1 split. Maybe we'll like do like a 3-2 in favor of check. That's a good suggestion. Pop on into some games with this. This felt really good last time we played it. Interested to see if it can have a second good session here today. Thanks for the follow, Slyheart. Welcome to the channel. We actually played, if you missed it, we played blue-white vehicles in Alchemy to start today, so there were plenty of plow jokes to start the stream. I'm told Perihelion plus Skyboat is actually pretty reasonable in Pioneer, so that's almost assuredly something we want to explore in Explorer. And we can play that format next week. My short-term plan for Magic stuff, by the way, is to do a little bit more Magic again, like we did today and yesterday with the new set release and the new format happening next week. We're going to go back to doing Magic starting first thing in the morning and do 3 decks a day for the interim, I think, while there's plenty to explore. I still plan to do Pokemon Unite to end the streams, because I am hopelessly addicted to Pokemon Unite, but I want to fit. We're going to put the variety in the mornings on pause for a little bit to fit in some extra Magic stuff. All right, don't pierce me, Daddy. Do I want to trade these? I think I do, actually. Excuse me? Pretty good. You can sign up for every plate for as little as $25 using my promo code, yes. So if you're good at math, that means you will recognize that it's actually cheaper to sign up for the every plate promo to submit a deck than it is to pay my normal deck submission fee. But if you're bad at math, then I'm still happy to take your money and you can make a regular donation per usual. All right, extra Vanishing Verse sounds good against the Delver deck. Usually don't have that much in the sideboard for a matchup like this. This is probably a Infernal Grasp matchup, just like an all Doomblades on deck. Just want to be able to kill their threats as consistently as possible. I'm gonna trim for those 3 cards. What time am I planning to unite today? Probably somewhere in like the 1-130 range patches. Professor lines up poorly against future wizard cards. That's true. It provides like mana fixing though, and it's kind of a discard enabler. Maybe that's the last trim though. I am bringing another 2 mana spells. I also kind of want to make sure I have enough bodies to sacrifice to Deadly Dispute though as well. Yeah, seems pretty good. Body is ready to get Jawari disruptioned. Touch awkward on our mana here at the moment. Hopefully we draw a 3rd land next turn. This resolving is great. It means even if they kill this right away, I generated a blood token so we can try and Deadly Dispute. Delver of Secrets and Never Flipping. Name a more iconic duo. They could have like a negate or a spell pierce here. Augur of Bolas and rearranging the bottom cards of your library, dude. Try and get this down, because if this resolves, I have a chance to better chance to double spell next turn. And our life total's not under that much pressure currently. They just kept a card on top, so I assume this isn't resolving. And this getting pierced means that Vanishing Verse is more likely to resolve down the line as well, so like, not necessarily bad. Just wait till Jeff sees my Delver Collected Company deck. Well, Collected Company flips Delver of Secrets, so that just sounds like some good deck building to me. Yeah, and Company hits Delver. Sounds like you covered all your bases. So long, friend. Thanks for all the three hits. Work through their counter spells with our Fables. Just gotta stay alive here, basically. A lot of card advantage in our hand. They kept cards on top, so I assume they have another threat here. This gives us 2 blockers for Menace here, which is great. Oh, man. If I cast Surgehacker Mech and they have a negate or spell pierce, I'm super sad, but they've already played 2 spell pierces. Oh, that's another one that gets Surgehacker. Good to know. Opponent's deck is not an established archetype, so I don't really know the range of counter spells we're playing around. Yeah, but like, our life total would have been higher if we would have waited to not get got by it. Sure? Yeah, they scryed bottom there. I also don't know why they didn't wait to do that, but I'm not one to look a gift horse in the mouth. I guess I died a Doomblade now? It's not Doomblade. Okay. Okay, we're cooking with gas. There's a Chariot in my bin. There's also a Surgehacker Mech in my bin. Actually, just let this bounce back to my hand, right? No, I just sack it to draw. I'm gonna sack it to draw. Meathook Massacre could maybe get them back into this game at this point, but I also just have like an incredible amount of value generated now. I just want to close this game out as quickly as possible. Let's put some more cats into play. Oh no, not a counter spell. How will I ever win the game now, chat? Keeping the board clean. Pervidia, if you're still in chat, if you want to submit a deck using the Every Plate promo, just use the normal submission link on my website and just in the comments, leave that it's for the Every Plate promo, what name you signed up with. They were probably playing Meathook and just didn't draw Water Warrior. I'd be pretty surprised if they weren't. Yeah, seems pretty good. The Surgehacker Mech. I feel like there's probably not a critical enough mass of artifacts for Brawl. What's the plan for Unite? I'm gonna be playing duos / trios this afternoon. I think Patches is gonna play for a little bit, and Spriggle said he might be around. Definitely just trading these off here. Is it too greedy to discard a land here? Yeah, I'm just supposed to get rid of Harvester. They probably don't have that many actual creatures. Attack with this. Honestly, it might have been right to keep the Chariot with the Treasure Maker in play. Think about that. Thankfully, we drew another one. Meathook Massacre is definitely a real concern for us out of the opponent's deck next turn. And I assume if they have Meathook, they're probably saving it for after Fable flips. Vanishing Verse here for my Chariot. It is also 4 mana no plays, that's true. I don't think I'm really that afraid of Emperor, though, here. It's, like, not a big deal.
Run away. You'll be safer. I am almost sad to see you go.
Okay, and they didn't chump block, which would imply... No chump block implies they probably don't have the Meathook, right? So I'm gonna commit this. And obviously they have Meathook, we're probably hosed, but I think that's the line.
Remember your training.
I'll take 2 redraws here. I think the face is the place here, chat. What do we think? I can send like 2 tokens at Wandering Emperor to make them double chump, I guess. Let's do that. Like, let's give them the option to save their Planeswalker if they want to take 8. We definitely made a lot of treasures. Okay. I could have disputed the one they blocked. I don't think it really matters. I guess I'd be +1 treasure token if I did that. Oh, I could have killed Buster as a creature. I don't think so. Okay, I think I'd rather be able to kill a blocker in this instance. Like, we're definitely the beatdown at the moment, right? Well, the card draw isn't really... I guess it's, like, potentially getting them closer to... It's potentially getting them closer to Meathook. Like, in this instance, I think it works out that I didn't kill it, right? I get to remove one of their blockers here and pressure them for a bunch. Are they dead? They're probably close to dead, huh? Her farewell would not be great for us. That's for sure. So... Power word kill seems not great. Vanishing Verse seems good. I think I want the Duresses and Chuck for traps to be able to clear out potential sweepers. Bloodtithe Harvester's kind of mediocre. Trim here. Surgehacker Mech is nice because it can clean up Emperor. Maybe I don't want the Vanishing Verses. They're like okay into Emperor, but Surgehacker is probably better. Six Sources of Learn might be unnecessary. I'm kind of going low on ways. Actually, I guess if I'm getting rid of things, I probably want to keep the higher quality cards, right? So Harvester is probably better than Epicure. I don't think I have the tools to like fully beat them down in a pure aggro perspective. So I think like being disruptive with discard spells and then having a little bit extra card advantage is probably the best approach. All right, let's try this. Opponent drew their third land and we did. Never lucky. And take their Emperor before they can cast it here. I played Bankbuster because this way if they bricked on their third land, we'd have an extra draw at ours. Yeah. Your opponent keeping the 2-lander on the play and hitting, you keeping the 2-lander on the draw and missing. Just magic things. they draw another Emperor? Because they didn't play out this other restoration here. Survey says. Tank, the classic tank best possible play. Tried and true arena classic.
Must contend with me. Guards, to me. We've got the edge in this fight.
Alright, we get the untapped lands here at least. So I can Bloodtithe Harvester, generate a second blood token, and then I can Harvester kill their Architect Restoration. And then I think I fire up Bankbuster, crack into their Emperor here, right? We already played our land for the turn, so we can wait to Deadly Dispute. We'll dispute second blood token, and then if we draw an Esika's Chariot, we can actually blood discard the Chariot, Greasefang it back next turn, which is pretty good. Thanks for the follow, Ninetails. You're a Pokemon fan, I'm guessing. We do a lot of Pokemon stuff around here too. Looking forward to their new TCG Live client coming out later this year. In the meantime, playing a lot of Pokemon Unite. All right, so there's the Chariot. So they're gonna be able to Vanishing Verse the Chariot, but not before it makes a bunch of tokens for us. So that's nice. Thanks for the follow, Doom Songs. Oh, you know what? Was I supposed to hold up? Was I supposed to use this to kill this first? I think I was. That was a sequencing mistake. There's an ET on the client. There is not. I was told. I believe someone earlier this week mentioned it just went into iOS beta in their current closed beta. Oh, I could have disputed it. I'm so dumb. Thank you for the shout. I'm a big stupid. I didn't take that line because I'm bad, chat. I was so focused on thinking about my attacks, I just missed it. That would have been really good, right? It would have put the vehicle back in the bin for Greasefang next turn. I was in my brain. I was casting Bloodtithe Harvester. That's fine. We're still in an okay spot. Sometimes Jeff secretly makes mistakes so Chad can feel smart. I wish it was that big brained. We're just passing here, right? I mean, the historic deck with this card isn't even really a deck. It gets completely edged out by Graveyard Hate in that format. We're gonna Deadly Dispute Greasefang here, since we have the second one in exile from Showdown. Wow, they just chose not to Emperor. Feels weird.
I will show you what happens when the spiders squash back. My words are for ambitious minds.
So what if we crew this? And then we Deadly Dispute. A Deadly Dispute sack. Let's check for traps first, actually. Let's check for traps. Put a counter on Bankbuster. Exile your Wandering Emperor. Then I could Deadly Dispute, sack a cat token. Put a counter on Bankbuster. Then I can use this to shrink this by 2. And then I can cast this for X's 3, clear the board out. Put a counter here. This is gonna get 3 bigger, so I don't get to kill it, but I get to knock it down to exactly 3 here.
Venerate me or die. I'm sure you'll miss me.
Okay.
Aren't I generous?
Sometimes it do be like that. Oh, they're just... Well, that's incredibly greedy. Variety stuff is on hold for a little bit with the new Magic format and new Magic format and set coming out. But when we get back to it, we're gonna pick back up with the third Tomb Raider game. Is my plan. We're gonna do a little bit extra Magic with New Capenna and Explorer coming though. The new format drops with the set release next week on Thursday. Okay, that's nice. Draw cards, see what we get. That's a phenomenal draw. Deals damage equal to 2x our vehicles. So this is gonna come down and KO their Planeswalker.
Into my web again.
Tungarvu doing some work. Buster seemed like it was a good add to the sideboard. That was one of the changes we made at the end of the last session with this deck. And this will not only potentially make us treasures to cast this, but if we get to chapter 2, we'll get to rummage it into the bin for the Greasefang to bring back again. Make some more cats. Sweet. Reflection of the Kiki is such a powerful card. Reflect Terror of the Peaks. That sounds good. Yeah, we're gonna do a set review on Monday, chat. Is my plan. I'm gonna play Naked Greasefang out here for the sake of resource efficiency. I think rummaging a land might actually be better than getting any of the things in my board. Get real big real fast. Nightcrawler, thanks for the follow. See if they take the bait here. Smart. Power word kill and one Vanishing Verse in our deck still at the moment. I guess in theory another blood token should still take care of this. Oh, the Harvester plus Surgehacker can kill the visitor next turn. Oh, not if they play an enchantment though, right? Enchantment will give it 2 counters. attacks. Bankbusters are on our sideboard, Tumos. It's not one of the half a dozen things here that helped us. A world where we die here if they kill our blocker and have a decent chain of spells. Yeah, greener is also not great for us. I just don't think we're winning the game by sitting on our hands, so we just need to try and race them and hope for the best. Our draw hasn't done us any particular favors. We had a lot of card selection here, and it just hasn't mattered. It's just so many lands. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lands in 18 cards. Sometimes it be like that. Like to chump block. One of your finest gain 9s, please. And I play a lot of... We actually played the Rune deck on stream yesterday. And we didn't play any mirrors. The Rune deck is not particularly popular. It's definitely very good. Actually, when we played it yesterday, I talked about how I was surprised how little play it sees based on how strong it is. It's super powerful. Okay, what if I just assume they can't kill me and I put them to 3? Your move, Yugi boy. This is all we got. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Oh no. Is that lethal? I think that's lethal, right? They haven't played a land yet. They go land, double Runemite. Yeah, GG. Close game. Vanishing Verse and Infernal Grasp, obviously very good here. I think Meathook Massacre is actually pretty bad in this matchup. Their things tend to be rather large. Well, to be fair, like, the first time... Didn't you have lethal that turn with 8 menace? How? Animating this? What do we do that turn? We had to draw some cards, right? This takes 5 to activate. I needed to play this in order to have 2 things to crew this. Oh, I cast the Surgehacker. Oh, I did miss it. I missed the treasure. Yeah, that's a good shout. If I don't play the Surgehacker, I would have had 1, 2, 3 to do this. And then this would have given me this. Oh, well, I didn't have to kill the Naturalist, though, because this has menace and this has menace. Yeah, good catch. We actually win that game with better play. Yeah, because these both had menace, so the life flinker didn't matter. That's a really good catch. Thanks for pointing that out. I was so focused on trying to stay alive and be interactive, I didn't think about just counting up to lethal. The creature land, and the other one did it. That's fine. We'll shake it off and win game 2 here. I really like that they've leaned into the treasure design space. Temporary ramp feels so much less obnoxious than like old school permanent green ramp with things like land werewolves and rampant growth, and letting other colors flexing into being able to ramp is quite nice. Don't let Magic Twitter hear you say good things about treasures. Well, I can only assume Magic Twitter hates treasures since they're excellent design space. And I make this deck list. I did, in fact, import this deck list into my deck editor. And I own the NFT of it, so you know it's mine. I own it. Depending on how many runes they have here, we might just be run over this game. Yes, this is the opponent's deck stud draw. Maybe I'm just supposed to double block there? Is that better? Then I don't have to hope to draw a land? Means I lose the 1/1? Yeah, double blocking there might be a little better. Means I'm up. I'd be up 4 points of life. Yeah, you're probably right. We need a way to deal with Runeforge Champion here. Those are the Doomblade I wanted for Christmas. Yeah. I don't know if there was a whole lot we could do this game. I guess I could take the double block on the turn that they attack and be down the 1/1 but up 4 points of life. Maybe that's a little bit better. Leaves me extra blood token lying around, but we definitely just straight missed lethal in the first game, so even if there was nothing we could do in that second game, if I play the first game better, we still get a game 3. This deck definitely feels like it has the most permutations and lines of any deck in Standard. The blood token, speaking of good token design, the blood tokens are really fantastic. Give you a lot of micro choices and decisions to make. Mitigate flood nicely too. Just to grab us sciences to grab our mountain. So don't necessarily have this on curve on 3 if we don't draw land, but we'll hit our land drop and then have it on 4. Alright, didn't get our land drop Jawari Disruption. Glass half full. Nico.
Have a good clean match. I never miss.
Real shame we didn't draw land there, because it would have let us Surgehacker KO Nico.
Deep breath. I got this.
That's the theme of this stream. Shame we didn't draw land there. Mood. Is Meathook good at all? It might be good in the mid game when we get creatures out for like saying, hey, you can't sweep our border, you die. We knew a counterspell was likely there because they didn't crack their thing last turn. Now they don't have counterspell mana up this time, which is nice. We go ahead and drop Surgehacker Mech.
I'll do better tomorrow.
This stream is an elaborate commentary on the housing market. Oof. Oof. It's gonna be interesting to see if what the housing market does now that rates are actually going up. You got in on realty in 2020. What does that mean, Mem? Okay. You get to fire up our creature land and crack them for 9 next turn, and then Meathook's threatening to do some damage. I appreciate Mem coming back to let us know they're part of the rich assholes that are abusing the housing market, keeping hands out of the houses of normal people that just want to actually be able to live in them. So feel free to fuck on all the way off. And stew on what a shitty person you are. this worth turning into a random card? I think it's worth turning into a random card. Here's 3 threats and a creature land. Your move, Yugi boy. Yeah, people like Mem are a big part of why normal people can't afford to get houses at the moment. Because they're systematically buying them up to make more profits in the future. They don't intend to live in the places that they're buying. They're just increasing scarcity for their own profit. The worst sort of people. I mean, it's incredibly expensive to build new houses, Silence. I mean, I get that, like, purchasing houses is also expensive, but, like, building houses is even more so. Yeah, flipping houses is exactly that. You're flipping the house to make a profit. Yeah, I think that's accurate, Random. How do we feel about this sideboard plan? I'm bringing in our extra card advantage, bringing in our discard spells. I'm trimming these. Actually, I mentioned it the other day. They actually just rezoned the cornfield behind my house to residential. And they're supposed to be breaking ground on some new houses right behind me here soon. Artificial scarcity to profit on magic cards is frustrating. Artificial scarcity to profit on housing is ethically indefensible. Completely agree. Yeah. Yeah, there's probably some variance in it, Breno. I'm gonna profess to not knowing exactly what it costs to build new houses in the current market. On Harvester here. That's really interesting, Breno. The location, like, you saved a few $100,000 compared to buying a house in the same area or compared to buying a house in the city itself? Because the location matters more than anything. I think I want a Duress plus Professor here. Ooh, Siphon Insight's kind of scary. Do I take their land? I guess none of their cards are really exciting to take. Both. That's really interesting. I mean, there's not even just housing shortages in major cities that OTF. Like, the market in my mid-sized town is very crazy as well. Alright, I think we just get Fable done while they're tapped out here, huh? Surgehacker doesn't seem particularly good. Honestly, the sciences doesn't even seem necessary at this point. Ditch those and draw some cards. Yeah, I've talked about before, my wife and I live in a 3,000 square foot single family home that we purchased for a little under $300,000 here in the cornfields back in 2019, I think. And there are houses up the street from ours that sold for close to 400,000 recently. So not quite as insane as some major cities, but they're definitely up there compared to what we did even 3 years ago. That sounds like some wonky Texas stuff, Brano. That's an interesting dynamic to Sassy Magic Cart. People that are now working remotely are moving to lower cost areas that are causing the prices to drive up there. I didn't even think about something like that. I hate this card so much. Who thought this was a good design? Can I talk to them, please? Wait, they didn't exile our graveyards? Thanks. You explain rotation. Yeah, in the fall, the oldest 4 sets in Standard will no longer be Standard at all. Because the TLDR on rotation. Go to what'sinstandard.com if you have any questions about how rotation works and what's going to change exactly. Well, rotation's not coming up for a while. New Capenna is the last set of this current Standard format, so we don't have rotation for like what, like 4 or 5 months. Oh, they have lessons in their sideboard. That's cute. No, there's no core set this summer, chat. This new Capenna is the last Standard set, and then rotation happens. Start here and see what we get. I would love to check for traps. Yeah, there were 2 Innistrad sets, this is accurate. Wait, they didn't cast Pop Quiz in response? Oh, they want to undo inversion, huh? I guess I kind of have to take undo, huh? I guess I could take Pop Quiz and then check for traps again and take undo. Yeah, that's the line. It means I can't deadly dispute this turn, but that's not a big deal. Yeah, that's definitely a big problem. Rando, zoning laws. Like I said, in order, the houses that are going up behind my home, they were previously zoned for not residential, and they were able to get it rezoned. And then in peak boomer fashion, chat, shortly before they rezoned, there was a boomer walking around the neighborhood I live in asking people to sign a petition to not let the property get rezoned. It's just like, come on, for fuck's sake. Boomer's gonna boom, 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 boom. Yeah, we politely closed the door. The Innistrad sets forward will remain legal at rotation, yes. Hey, Silly Cheese, thanks for the 39 months. Welcome back. See, chat, they didn't realize Surgehacker Mech is a menace. Bring me pictures of Surgehacker Mech. And this deck is so good. I'm glad this one was good again. This deck was really good last time we played it. I was wondering if it was a fluke or if we could be consistently good. But a good set. It's the best Mexican restaurant in Bloomington, Illinois. I like a little place called Veracruz for authentic Mexican food. If you want commercialized Mexican food, there's a place called Ancho and Agave that's also pretty good. And then we obviously have your typical smattering of Tex-Mex, Chipotle and Moe's and stuff like that. With a follow, Eviator. What's going on, new pub? Alright, rematch against Runes. Let's see if we can not punt it this time. I think it's a Necrotic Fumes angle. Steel Rune is cheating, chat. Oh, we're gonna be able to beat that one. Okay. Oh wait, I can do this for just one in their board dies, right? Does this dying makes this a 1/1? Yeah, okay. Illinois has a whole lot of nothing while you drive all the way down, for sure. Well, yeah, we have some Greasefangs, chap. You think I can talk our opponent into playing poker instead of playing Magic? You think they could be convinced? We're pretty dead here at this point. Alright, so Vanishing Verse for sure. Honestly, I wonder if we're supposed to play check for traps just to try and hit their really high impact cards. And like their creatures and stuff. I definitely want Infernal Grasp. Removal spells seem good. Let's try that. I don't think I want the Duresses too, because a lot of their important cards are creatures, but discard spells to try and tag a Showdown before it happens, or tag a Rune Dorko before it comes down. Seems like it has a lot of value potentially. What's going on, Hairball? Thanks for the over 3 years. Welcome back. Appreciate you keeping me around. Thanks for the follow, Double A. Opponent, taking a second to figure out a sideboard. Not too surprising. Our deck's definitely not a popular part of the format, so people don't really have game plans against it. Is a nice upside to playing it. You new follows today. Thanks everybody for hanging out. If you're new, welcome. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I stream full time here on Twitch. I do Magic the Gathering and a variety of other games. Usually play 2 or 3 Magic decks every single day. Stick mainly to Arena's constructed formats, Alchemy, Historic, and Standard. Looking forward to dipping into a little bit of Explorer next week when that comes with the new set drop as well. If you enjoy the content and you want to check out other decks we've been playing recently, be sure to poke at my YouTube channel as well. You'll find playlists on the front page of the channel there for those 3 formats. Deck lists for everything for your importing pleasure can be found in the video descriptions as well. This is fine. Double tap land's a little awkward, but definitely not a mulligan. Jeff is a top 50 Magic player of all time. That's almost assuredly incorrect. Confining my Eyetwitch. Read. I think with no land draw here, I'm going to try and rummage a card out of my hands at the land draw. Sedge. Hey, why don't you just Google it? Is Tinley 7 letters? I assume Tinley is 7 letters. I would recommend Googling it. Tinley is probably 6, isn't it? Math. I'd write oak and stretch the letters out over the box. Cool. Huh. Okay, with this draw, I think I just try and beat them down, huh? Might be wrong to not Vanishing Verse this, but it's hard to pass up cracking them for 4 and putting 10 power into play for 3 mana. So we do this. Sack this. The just beat them down plan looking like the correct choice here. A lot of cats. Yeah, I felt pretty good. Anatar, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. I can keep a hand without a piece of interaction on the draw. Yeah, and I'd bet Season Past is one of those cards that we won't get for a while, Stepkeep. And I'd wager that one is both not a super competitive card and one that is programmatically difficult. Okay, well that was their draw for the turn. Hopefully they only have one good 4-mana card here and we can get rid of it. Alright, let's roll the dice, chat. Oh, I forgot this made this cheaper. They're missing red mana currently, though, which is good for us. They brick on red for a turn or two. We can have a real shot here. I'm gonna sack this, because this way if we draw the rat, we can bring it back and kill a spirit. Okay. We're a powerful wizard, chat. Powerful wizard. Pretty important that we kill their lifelink, I think. They kill this in response, so they can't cast the red rune. That being said, we might be dead here either way because of their Hallowed Haunting Spirits. There's a red land. Yeah, things are getting out of control real fast now. It's Edge. Opponent got a little unlucky for a little bit there to give us some breathing room, but at this point with the Showdown and the Hallowed Haunting, we are dead. Matchup definitely seems tough. Not unwinnable, but definitely not easy. Yeah, game 2 is one of our more aggressive draws for sure. I wonder if we want some Archons in our board. We want to hedge that matchup a little bit. These Duresses don't seem super exciting. Maybe we'll put in a couple Archons in those slots. Could see another Vanishing Verse being good too. That card's a premium there. Let's go up to the full 4 in the 75. Not making big changes, but just small changes that'll hedge the matchup a little bit for us. Like Vanishing Verse is a pretty flexible card that's good in other spots, but also good there. So the follow hub fix. Tapped land on 1, untapped on 2, untapped on 3. Is this the same person? Did it re-queue us again? That name looks familiar. Anybody remember what the name of the other person was? The die roll as it feels bad, man. This is actually a pretty decent pickup here because it'll give us a second blood, so this can give -4/-4 next turn. Oh, these are definitely different sleeves than last game. Yeah, the last one had animated sleeves for sure. Kill this one. Sets release on Thursday for Magic Arena, so 6 days from now. I played out the Professor rather than holding up Deadly Dispute here because if they attack with Goblin Shaman, I want to be able to trade for it. Fable of the Mirror Breaker is an interesting inclusion in their archetype. It's not one that I've seen before. Start with this, see if we can find a Vanishing Verse for the Kami. Yep. Do I Vanishing Verse now, or do I use my health total as a bit of a resource so I can get the Fable of the Mirror Breaker going? I think there's value in just taking another, like, 6 to 8 ball, so that way I can get this going to flip sooner. box. Start here. I'm rummaging through this one. Woof. Did shit. Interesting. I don't think I want Archon against their deck. I mean, the Runes deck is pretty mid-rangey. They must not be playing Showdown, right? To like fit in some of this stuff. It's hard to, I mean, there's so many cards they could have or could have not cut to get to the point where they're at to fit in their other. They have a lot of like really expensive clunkier things though. Still gonna bring in my spot removal, but I don't think I'm gonna bring in the discard spells for the Archon. I rummaged a Meathook at one point because that card's not very good against traditional runes. And that was obviously a mistake, I think, based on how the game ended up playing out. They cut like naturalists from the deck. We didn't see any of those. Afternoon A drawing. I need a second Fable. Well, you know what? I should probably just trade these here forcibly. All right, no harm, no foul. So they must have another follow-up threat that they don't want me to be able to kill with Bloodtithe. There's no queues for Explorer in the client right now, but you can definitely play with the cards, right? Like, it's not like there's new cards coming for the format. Like Jim Davis and the one Jame were doing direct challenge games last night. It's definitely something you could do. It was a mistake to do this, to discard this last time, but I have Bloodtithe Harvester plus Kiki this time, so I think this is fine. And there's Chariot for me. Alright, this game should be pretty over at this point. Oh, I could have copied the Bloodtithe Harvester token from Kiki. Doesn't matter. All good enough. Afternoon look. So this hand is one of our most powerful draws if we could draw another untapped land, which we did. So we get to go Epicure on 1, and then on 2 we'll go tapped land, use the blood token to discard this, and then we'll play Greasefang on 4. Or Greasefang on 3, bring the Chariot back. That being said, their deck's capable of some powerful draws too here, so we'll see if our linear draw is good enough to race them or not here. It might not be, honestly. Let's see what they put together. Well, I was hoping to draw a land there. They're blocking with their flying creature. That seems good for us. And it put the Chariot back in the bin. Also seems good. I'll take it. So I think we Deadly Dispute, sack the Epicure, and then wallow in the fact that we are incredibly unlucky in Magic as a high variance game. We are getting close to meat-hooking them to death, yeah. And my Bloodtithe Harvester is gonna get to kill the reflection of the Kiki-Jiki this turn. So that's nice. Man, I have to discard to hand size. Unlucky. Are they just dead to attack all? Probably. They're definitely dead to Meathook. Thought not. Thanks for the 57 months. Welcome back. Matt Nat and Roka, thanks for the follows. Good afternoon. I know we usually do shorter sessions with Dex Chat, but I think I might just chill on this deck for the rest of our Magic Portion day for the next hour or so. I kind of like what it's doing. I did some alchemy and some brawl before this. Those were good, but this is my favorite standard deck right now. I think it's probably one of the sweeter things we've played in the format. And the format's gonna change here in a hot second, so let's get in with this one while the getting is good. Yeah, it's been really good for this session too. Yeah, we tactically missed land drops in that game so we could discard Chariots to hand size. It's a purely tactical decision. This is a rummage angle again? I think it's a rummage angle, chat. He says before getting counterspelled. They're probably a Goldspan Dragon combo deck, I have to imagine, with Sajiri Shelters. Yeah, it could be Hinata, for sure. Hinata is also a Goldspan Dragon deck. Not all Goldspan Dragon decks are Hinata decks, but all Hinata decks are Goldspan Dragon decks. They been to Goldspan. Alright, so they're looking for lands, I assume. Laminius, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. I'll be hang out and wait for our opponent to make decisions. Yeah, probably knocked over their monitor. Maybe their pizza's done. Maybe their doorbell rang. What's going on, Brobot? Good afternoon. You may iterate, opponent. Going on, Pizza? Thanks for the 40 months. Welcome back. Chariot has a mode where it stays in the battlefield? No, I'll correct that right now. I think I have enough cat tokens into what's likely a deck with sweepers that I actually just want to make a treasure token here. Could I have... I might have messed this turn up. If I would have sequenced differently, I think I could... I haven't played a land yet, right? Yeah, I could have attacked with Hive of the Eye Tyrant here and then finished them with this. Definitely missed lethal. The what's it called was summoning sick, yeah. Fable the Mirror Breaker. Got me. Yeah, we could get combo killed this turn. Although if they're the storm deck, I guess they can't wait to do that. Alright, our check for traps. Get to come in here, which is nice. Grasp and Vanishing Verse, also good. Meathook seems not great. Power Word Kill seems not great. I think I trimmed the epicures in these matchups. How grindy do I want to be is a real question too. Like, do I want these showdowns? Do I want showdowns and Bankbusters? Bankbuster's kind of an aggressive amount of grind, which can be nice. Let's try this. Paul Carrion, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel this afternoon. I don't know that I like Archon. We also like to double spell on our side of the game board, so. Fantastic, just like we drew it up. To set a low bar Drax, that ultimatum deck definitely exceeded expectations. Might have been right to copy the blood token there, so I could have more ways to keep rummaging the Chariot into the bin. Is my house burning down, opponent? Yes, traditionally speaking, what Panda Slot there said to rule of law effects are a little bit of a hard sell against decks with counter spells.
You're done.
Okay. Send 2 of these at their Planeswalker, 2 of these at their face. Wanna be able to KO the Planeswalker through 1 piece of removal.
Back to wandering.
Would not be surprised if this fails to resolve, but gotta go for it. We take those. Deal. They notably didn't rummage with their hand, though, so they're happy with the contents. Nice pickup. The Jawari Disruption? Never land drops, ever lucky. That's fine. Running into the disruption there is like acceptable because if we don't run into it, they're gonna get to turn it into a different card next turn anyways, so I'd rather just clear it out. Them not getting 2 spells off of this is great for us. They're ripping us apart, chat. We just like play out our threats here, right? Try and get him dead. Follow General Juma. Good afternoon. Hinata, sure. We usually start Pokemon Unite about 1:30, 2 o'clock, somewhere in there. Maybe a little before. Sometime between 1 and 2 Central. It's also listed in the stream title. What do I want to do here? It's like, I kind of want to sack the blood to draw cards, but if I sack the blood, drawing another blood means I can't target this, right? Or can't kill this. I'm going to start on Bankbuster, draw a card, and see what we get. Okay. No Magma Opus, one-time dealer. I suppose the top card of their deck could also be Magma Opus. So we can tell, yeah, rummage here, flip tonight. Face is dead. Like, definitely some good beats here on the end for us. When I'm flooded out a little. I don't have all those sweet, sweet blood tokens like we do to smooth their draws out. You do, Gully. That's what that deck used to do in Standard. Used to go get Volky, cast Tibalt. Okay. I'm gonna try and high roll here, chat. Two draws at our Greasefang to get the turn 3 Chariot. Never lucky. It's fine, our hand's still pretty good. That is an acceptable exchange. Teamer. Second black, but I can treasure token to get a second black. Hey, Skyzos, thanks for the re-up. Sometimes you gotta refresh to have it sent through. Twitch is buggy. Sometimes they're a new platform. They'll figure it out eventually. It's just a really, really slow combination of cards duck is like what it comes down to. The format's just like more faster and more efficient than what that's able to do. Exile this in response so they can't use Magna to crew it and generate a treasure with her. So definitely playing this out on black. Do I want to rummage this with this? I don't think so. I'm going to play both of these out. Let's have a bunch of blockers in play. I think I want to do this now, so that way if I draw my rat, I can cast it and get my Chariot back. The downside to doing this now is the token goes away at end of turn, which means I can't use it to block their Chariot next turn. So some upside here if I hit my 4 of, but downside otherwise. Not sure if that's necessarily worth the risk. It's a free attack, it's going away either way. Need to peel one of our meat hooks or a what's it called ASAP here? Our rat Dorko. 9. You get negated. Main deck stroke. I think main deck stroke's kind of medium in this format. Main deck negate's pretty reasonable. Like there's a lot of decks that look like ours. There's just so few targets for it. Vanishing Verse and Grasp seem good. Honestly, because they're on stroke, Surgehacker Mech kind of sounds like a liability. Let's go ahead and trim that down. It's Meathook most of the time. Yeah, but negate hits it all the time, right? I think that's a pretty big overreaction, Ewok. Like, if anything, the alchemy changes to cards in Historic have made more things playable with things like Symmetry Sage getting buffed. I know everybody's gonna, like, put their finger up and point at Luminarch Aspirant being nerfed, and that was somewhat played in Historic, but Luminarch Aspirant being nerfed isn't the reason the Humans deck is no longer Historic playable. That deck's still crap in the current metagame, even if Aspirant has its original paper printing. I don't know. You do you, but I think the people having their temper tantrum over alchemy cards changing in historic or ignoring the reality of what actually happened. There's like some theoretical actually purity argument you could make, but I'm also not going to be able to reason with people that want to make arguments like that, so I'm not going to bother. Yeah, Historic's a digital-only format, Panda Sloth. All cards that are changed, that are power balance changed in Magic Arena happen in both Historic and Alchemy. Direct to digital cards are legal in both formats, etc. My number one pet peeve, and in fact, the person I just banned, who said, why is chat mostly in sub-only mode? Part of the reason why I sometimes put chat in sub-only mode is because of people like you that come into my chat and lie and post things that just aren't correct. My chat sometimes goes into sub-only mode during Magic segments when Magic shitters like yourself come in here and post stuff that's just not true and hasn't been true for a while. Like, the audacity of people to come in and objectively lie on the internet will never cease to amaze me. And then while we're doling out bans, I'm gonna preemptively ban SwimFan 2002 because Swim is a particularly awful individual. So let's not be fans of those. Grab the Sciences, can get us a black mana if we brick on it. Probably not gonna Sciences next turn, probably gonna go third land Fable the Mirror Breaker. Quiz Swim. Swim was a large, was a large Gwent and then Legends of Runeterra content creator. Thanks for the follow, Uncle Ivanstein. Google it, Return of Jack. Just like Sanctum Pass here. I guess I could cast this or grab another black source and hold up Verse / Dispute. Good chance this gets negated, but gotta cross our fingers and hope for the best here. Holy crap, my spell resolved, chat. It's exciting. like it when my spell's resolved. It's my favorite. Old Span Dragon shall continue until morale improves, chip. Feeling kinda dead. Okay.
Every seed contains great potential.
Full spell for reflection. So now we get to Meathook the board. Yeah, this sequence is good for us, I think. Obviously, we need to figure out a way to clean up the Renin 7 after the fact, but could definitely be worse off. So I have land. If I fire up Den of the Bugbear, I can only Meathook for 2, so that's not an option.
You are either brave or foolish.
I feel like I got priced out of Historic with Alchemy. Yeah, it's definitely psychological. Here's the actual secret, Ewok. You've always been priced out of Historic. Alchemy just made you realize it. Historic, like, someone else earlier asked if this new non-rotating format was going to be an affordable Eternal format on Arena. That's just not true. Like, they're all expensive by design. Affordable and non-rotating format in Magic just like really aren't sentences that go together for any officially supported non-rotating format. Like obviously there's like an asterisk pauper exists, but that's like not a real thing. Pauper doesn't get official WotC support for a reason. We're submitting these two. I need power word kill to kill this. Blood Harvester. Maybe get something else down the line. Hey, Dragon, thanks for trying months. I'm looking forward to jamming some Winota too. Man, we're really bad at drawing Chariot this game, huh? 23 cards in with that one. Do we start here and sacrifice this to Deadly Dispute and see what we draw? I think I like that, so we could hit another way to, Okay. Oh, I could just kill the tree folk and attack with the den. Maybe. And this gives us a blood token to ditch the Chariot next turn so we can attack with it with Greasefang. Okay, so now I need to Mascot Exhibition so I don't die in the air, right? And obviously they have a handful of draws here that kill us anyways. Hopefully they just like draw 6th land, 7th land, whatever it is. We might be able to kill them here. Kiki was summoning sick, chat. Kiki was summoning sick. Oh, Meathook Massacre is a messed up Magic the Gathering card. For those of you that weren't aware, Meathook Massacre is messed up. Alright, I need to run to the restroom really quick. Don't go anywhere. When I get back, we're going to play a few more matches with this for sure, because it's been great. Definitely my favorite deck in Standard. Okay. If we draw our Greasefang and a land, we get set up for the turn. Turn 3. Okay. I think I'm just gonna block Deadly Dispute this turn. Because it sets me up to Surgehacker next turn, or gives me 3 looks at Greasefang. Well, poop. Alright, Greasefang it is. Tap the cats this time, so that way we have a 4-3 on defense for the Thalia. I think copying a cat is better than copying the blood token here, but that honestly might be wrong. I have this to rummage again with next turn, though. Do we ever not have it? I mean, I didn't have it till turn 4 this game, thank you very much. Sardine is very large. I think we need to kill an aspirant here, right? What an incredibly castable card, chat. Just an incredibly castable card. Okay, so we need 5 plus X to cast Meathook currently. Wait, can I actually Meathook and kill this next turn? We can, right? So I get to go... I can Meathook for 3 right now. And the Surgehacker is gonna deal 2, right? Actually, just what is this magic card, chat? Why is this okay? Bye, friends. Whee! It's $70 is what it is. Ain't that the talking about being priced out of things, chat? Meathook goes burr. Yep, sure does. Thanks for the follow, Mono Creasy. Mythic wild card, please. Do I plan to start Unite today? It's not between 1 and 2. I think we're probably going to play like this match and like one more, depending on how long those take. It's hard to predict exactly how long Magic matches take some time. What am I cutting, chat? I think I keep my cheap bottom end. I know, like, Redain was obviously annoying for this card, but I think it's important that I have the removal. I think I want to trim, like, a couple of the Fables. Is it crazy to trim 3 Fables? That might be the line here, huh? The card's powerful, but it's kind of slow in this matchup. No play turn 2 is a little sketch keeping a hand like this, but they also don't have a turn 1 play, so maybe it's okay. Untapped land, hit me, dealer. Never lucky. Honestly, they probably want to get rid of the Chariot. The rest of our hand is super redundant. Yeah, I think that's smart. Cut me off at the rummage, basically. Yeah, there's a good chance that no plays till 3 on the draw means we just die here. Probably should have mulliganed. Like, our spells were good, and I kind of let myself get blinded by that. Yeah. I lost the set. Let me click keep. Just gonna hold up Vanishing Verse here. Sneakers are less volatile. That's great. Let's sit on the blood token for a little bit. Oh, you know what? I should loot with the blood token there, so that way if I hit a land, I can get it into play. Archon really doesn't seem good against us. And the fact that I know they can only play one spell per turn seems huge. They have a removal spell or something? They could also just be holding priority to bluff. Just jam. Even have Fateful Absence. They had to 2-for-1 themselves for that. I'll take that. Alright, so Meathook's going bye-bye. That might be the game. I don't know that we're gonna be able to catch back up to this board, only one spell per turn.
Strike fast and strike hard.
Man, the fact that they had Emperor and Hopeful plus what's it called that same turn and they chose to get us. Maybe I shouldn't have played the Greasefang out. Definitely seems like it was a mistake on my part. Alright, I mean if there was a draw in our deck that could get us back in this game, it was that one, right?
I'm never done for good. Yeah, technically not dead yet. Okay. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, lizard on a chair, take my hands, we'll make it, I swear. I think I'm supposed to offer the Greasefang trade there. It's close though. We actually want them to have 2 spells here. We don't want them to have that spell, though. That spell's not good for us. Untapped land. Oh my god, I only have 1 white mana. Wait, they're dead, right? Math. Quick math. We have infinite cats. Alright. Woo!
deck is super powerful. Listen, chat, if there's one lesson you take away from this stream, it should be that if your standard deck isn't playing a card that was nerfed in Alchemy, you should play a different deck. all of the best decks in standard are playing cards that are nerfed in Alchemy. You just gotta trust in the Greasefang, yeah. The Greasefang shall persevere. I got myself last night. I held an aspirant for post-combat in standard. RIP. Yeah, and to be fair, limiting yourself to cards that have been nerfed in Alchemy, that's still a pretty wide selection, right? You could play Chariot, you could play Goldspan Dragon, you could play Luminarch Aspirant, you could play Leer, like... There's a lot of kind of cracked, powerful things in the standard format that are legal. Grab a, environmental sciences here. I think I'm actually just gonna deadly dispute this before their guests can kill it incidentally. Yeah, it took some massaging, but standards ended up in a good spot. This current standard format is definitely the best post-fire design standard format we've had. Not close. Your move, Yugi boy. Bind me up. Bind me up, Buttercup. Attack first. Yeah, there's 2 separate reaction videos on my YouTube channel from news yesterday in Eclectic. There's one for Explorer and there's one for the organized play. They just made treasures. That's interesting. They getting meat hooked? On the hook, chat. They got us hook, line, and sinker. Oh, you know what? I should have gotten a second red instead of a second white there. Mistakes were made. Oh, culling ritual, maybe? Are we about to get culling ritual? Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. Into invoke? Masked Vandal. My poor Chariots. Swing low, my chariots.
Phyrexia's story infects the mind, becoming unforgettable. You cannot delay our victory.
Okay, chat. I'm about to blow your minds. You ready? Okay, so we're gonna bring the chariot back. And then the chariot is going to crew off of these. And then we're gonna attack with the chariot here. We're gonna copy our treasure token, and then we're gonna Vanishing Verse their blocker so we can hit their Tameo. And it's important that we hit the Tameo for 4 here, because otherwise the binding's gonna be in their discard pile, and then they could Tameo the binding back.
You can try, but you cannot change what's coming.
I love aggressive decks that let you feel smart, chat. Feel smart aggro is my favorite type of deck to play in Magic. All right, so they got a bunch of tiny poopers. Professor of Symbology seems kind of mediocre. I think this is probably a matchup I want some discard spells in. I probably want to be grindy here too, huh? I know the Vanishing Verse was good for pushing our attack in that instance, but it's probably not very good in this matchup, right? It shows like Shambling Ghast and Mass Vandal. Hey, Evron, thank you for the 5 months. Welcome back. Appreciate it. I think of this board plan. They probably have Sorin. Yeah, maybe. Again, I can attack Sorin. Lolth is a good shout. They do probably have Lolth. Maybe I should leave 2 verses in. I don't think they have enough targets to justify like playing lots of verses, but 2 is probably not a bad idea. I'd rather have Meathook or Verse. I'd rather have Verse. Meathook for draining them in the mid to late game is okay, but I think this is probably better. Let's try this. And obviously this opponent's playing something of a brew, so there's a good chance we go back to the drawing board during sideboarding for game 3 if we get there. Okay, chat, this hand is a Greasefang away from our theoretical nut draw. And we get, what, 3 draws at finding it? We get 2 draw steps and a discard? And even if we miss on the Greasefang in these next 2 draws, we still have Fable of the Mirror Breaker here. Queuing down a lot lately. Yeah, it's pretty coming. The best of 3 queues on Magic Arena are not heavily populated. And I talked about this yesterday, but my one real concern with the organized play announcement that's going to be going into effect is, what are queue times going to look like? I think I want to hold on to these just to cast them. So I think I'm ditching these. There's definitely a real concern that the event queues are going to make ranked matchmaking not great. We're also getting a 4th format to split queue times with too, right? So they're making other non-ranked queues more enticing, and we're splitting players among another format. Now, in theory, this other new format is going to bring new people into Arena, so we're not just strictly dividing the existing player base among these queues, but it's hard to know exactly how that's going to translate in practice. That can be fixed by letting historic decks queue into alchemy deck. So while that's obviously a bad joke, one thing that would be nice that they could do is they could let you multi-queue, where like you select an alchemy deck, a standard deck, a historic deck, and you say, okay, go into this queue and queue me into any of these 3 formats. I don't care which one, just get me a match as fast as possible. Something like that would be great.
Do you feel Explorer will render historic redundant? Okay, so you have MTGO in your username, so I'm gonna respond to your question with a different question. Did Pioneer render Modern irrelevant? Did Modern render Legacy irrelevant? And I would compare Legacy to Vintage here, but Vintage costing the price of my car to play rendered itself irrelevant, so we're not gonna talk about it here. All right. A big part of why Magic the Gathering is a game that has survived 25 years is because Magic the Gathering offers an incredible depth of ways to play. When you say, Jeff, why should you play Magic instead of playing Hearthstone or Runeterra, any of these other digital games is your digital game? I would tell you the depth of play patterns and different options that you have to play the game are the reason to play Magic over others. So the modern to extended comparison is not, yeah, exactly. It's exactly what you said there, Jack. It's not a good one-to-one comparison because extended was a rotating format. So you hit the nail on that. You understood what you were saying at the start. Test of Talons, yeah. Oh, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have done that. I should have let this take 2 and then hit it with Surgehacker Mech. Yeah. Unfortunately, Runeterra just doesn't have the growth potential for content, so outside of sponsored opportunities that come my way, I can't really justify investing time into Runeterra. I enjoy making content as my job, which means I need to try and focus on things that can allow it to be that. And Runeterra simply does not. Runeterra is a tough game as a spectator. Oh, it does 4 because we have 2 vehicles. Oh yeah, that's a sick call out. Forgot about that. Okay, so I could crew it and copy it, yeah. That's probably the line, right? Because it'll be able to attack too. I could just copy the vampire. Yeah, copying the vampire is better actually, right? If I kill this, they go block, block, and take 6. That's it? I think that's the play though, right? And I probably want to copy this token. Do I? Well, so this only activates at sorcery speed's the problem, champ. You know, it's funny. Someone in chat earlier was asking about the best Mexican food in my town. And my wife actually just brought me a Veracruz burrito for lunch.
I think we're gonna lose this game. Alright, I mean, there's a card that can get us back in, it's definitely that.
As sure as the moon rises, so too shall Phyrexia ascend.
You are welcome to send in the opponent's deck as a deck submission, and thanks to our Every Plate sponsor, you can do it for even cheaper than normal. The Every Plate promo runs until May 1st. That's when my code is good through. I might just pass here. Alright, sorry, I wanted to finish stuffing my face with my burrito chip. So... now's the question of... do I give up playing this Fable to Vanishing Verse this while they don't have mana up? I think the answer is yes. Do I want to just exile that and cast the Chariot? I have this left over to grind some card advantage with. Only drew 2 cards off that Showdown, but let's play. Bell's Nickel, thanks for the follow. This is just another Showdown turn. I too am shamelessly stuffing my face with a burrito off camera. God bless. You understand? Deal. And then this lets me, next turn, cast this Chariot from exile without having to do anything with this one, right? Which is great. Great, so they have 5 total mana here. Just drawing with Bankbuster. I think it's important that I generate value with this turn before they can do that. Yeah, perfect. Do we actually just get Bankbuster back here and just outgrind them? I think we just get Bankbuster back and outgrind them, right? I should have played this pre-combat so I could copy the blood token. So I messed up my sequencing here a little bit, but I was thinking I was going to get back a redundant Chariot, but I think I actually prefer just drawing more cards. Yeah, solid. Calling Ritual is a lot worse. You have no place for the extra mana. Yeah, it's also a bit worse when your opponent doesn't have 10 things in play, right? Like that second game was kind of peak, right? Like they were stuck on land, so they had all gas in hand, and our board was completely stacked. I honestly probably didn't play that second game particularly optimally either. Have you ever reached rank 1? No, I have never felt the desire to waste my time to reach rank 1. In fact, if you're new here, the fact that we're rank 42 is just like circumstance. So I know we played this deck for 3 hours, but usually during my normal Magic contents, we change decks every 90 minutes or so, and I try and play a wide variety of things. So we're not really a try-hard stream here like a lot of others are. We're just trying to like play a big range of things, and we just like so happen that like one of the decks I really like in this format is really good. This one. Speaking of, yeah, this one's great. This is our second time playing this deck. A couple of times that we, words, mush. The couple of changes that we made last time, after last time we played it, worked out really well. The Bankbusters, especially out of the sideboard, felt fantastic for a mix of cheaper card advantage that also worked with the Okiba boss like we saw in that last game there. And really, this deck's just so consistent. Being able to use blood tokens and Deadly Dispute and the rummages, and it all comes together really, really well. And you're playing some pretty individually powerful cards. Like Chariot's just a good Magic card that also happens to have this kind of powerful combo aggressive draw. So it all works out really, really well. All right, at any rate, that's going to wrap up on Magic for the day. We're not done streaming